Hey, how's it going, YouTube? I'm back in the video, and today I'm going to be talking about who I think is leading the MVP race right now, and who I think will win the MVP trophy, barring any injuries, obviously. Barring anything major or drastic happening, I'll be going into who I think should win the MVP. Now, I'll be going over the three main runners, which I'm pretty sure everybody at this point can accept is Paul George, James Harden, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm sorry, I probably butchered his last name. I know he's big and everything. I still can't pronounce his last name, so I'm going to be calling him Giannis from here out on the video. But I think you can pretty much agree with me that those are the three main front runners. Maybe you can argue Nikola Jokic, and no, that's pretty much those four, but I'm be really going to the main three. So yeah, I'm basically be going into all their arguments for MVP, and then I'm be saying who I think should win MVP. So without further ado, without running on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the first player I'm getting to for this video is going to be Paul George. Now, the reason Paul George is on this list is because he's having the best year of his entire career, and he is really just playing out of his mind, as he is currently averaging a career high in points per game, steals per game, assists per game, and rebounds per game, and field goal percentage. As this year he is averaging 28.7 points per game, 2.2 steals per game, 4.2 assists per game, 8.1 rebounds per game, and 54% from the field. So I mean, this dude is an absolute beast. He's scoring at an unbelievable level, and he's also doing it very efficiently. But just like a lot of people get caught up in his offense and it's just knockdown shooting and how good he is just at like scoring and stuff. But an overlooked aspect of his game is that this dude is an elite defender, probably a top 5 defender. Now obviously he's not Kawhi, he's not Jimmy Butler, but he is damn close. He's on that level right under the Kawhi's, Jimmy Butler's level of defense. Like, this dude is an absolute beast on defense, as he leads the leagues in steals per game, and he's just an absolute beast, and he's currently only averaging the second most points per game under James Harden. So I mean, the dude's having an unbelievable offensive and defensive year, and he's currently the best player on a team that consists of a former MVP who has averaged a triple-double for the past 3 seasons, past 2 or 3 seasons, Russell Westbrook. He is actually proving that he might be a better player than Russell Westbrook, which no one could have expected. Everybody mainly thought Russell Westbrook is going to be the main star, and Paul George is going to be kind of the co-star, co-writer, kind of be the sidekick, but no, Paul George is showing that he's actually the main player, and that the team runs through him, as he has led his team to a 38-21 record, and they are currently the 3rd seed in the West, so they're having a lot more success than they did last year. And I mean, Paul George is really coming out of his shell. He's really comfortable in OKC. We can see that, and he is becoming one of the very close players that can come to become a superstar level player. So I mean, he's on the brink. I would say if he keeps this up for the whole year, he will be considered a superstar level player, and there's nothing saying that he will not. But now the second player I'm getting to is James Harden, who right now, James Harden is currently having the most impressive single season by an NBA player, at least offensively, ever. I mean, this dude is literally just doing things we have never seen before. He is averaging 36.5 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, 7.7 assists per game, and he has shown that he can single-handedly win games. I mean, this dude is having a 2K my career type season. Like in 2K, like if you play like 5-minute quarters, your player will average about 36 points per game. James Harden is just going off. He's averaging points. I'm pretty sure I saw this thing. He is scoring a quarter of his team's points. So I mean, this dude is just absolutely dominating and is single-handedly winning games, as we've just seen that he is pretty much the only reason they're winning games. As when CP3 is out, Chris Paul, and he hasn't been playing, they have a 14-7 record, and in this main stretch that CP3 has been out, James Harden has willed his team to victory, as since before Chris Paul came back and he was out with that quad injury or his ACL injury, he was averaging 43.6 points per game, 1 block per game, 2 steals per game, 8 assists per game, and 7.7 rebounds per game without Chris Paul to like take any pressure off of him. So that is unbelievable, and he's also broke Kobe Bryant's 30+ points in consecutive games. So he's broken that record as well, and he has helped bring his team back from that awful start they started off with. Remember when everybody was like wondering, why are they so bad? Why aren't they doing good? He has pretty much carried their team out of that and completely bounced them back, as he has brought them to the 5th seed in the Western Conference, and I'm sure they're going to keep rising as the season goes along as well. But now my third and final player in this video is going to be Giannis. Now the reason, obviously everybody's talking about Giannis, he has climbed from a top 10 player in the league to a top 5 player in the league. He's just athletically unguardable. The dude's extremely long, extremely athletic, extremely fast. It's just an absolute beast, and he's like having a great year as well, averaging 27.2 points per game, 12.7 rebounds per game, 6 assists per game, and that he's just having a very, very good season as of right now. And due to his extreme athleticism, he's pretty much unguardable. If he had a jump shot, you literally could not guard him, and you can make the argument without him, they would be fighting for an 8th or 7th seed, but instead of them fighting for that 8th seed, they are currently the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference at a 45-14 record, and like I said, without Giannis, you could definitely make the argument that they would still be fighting for that 8th seed, and I mean, you can just see the improvement that Giannis has made this year in his game, as they went from being the 8th seed in the playoffs last year in the Eastern Conference to being the number 1 seed. That's a huge improvement, and it's pretty much all due to Giannis. Yes, the Bucks have a good team around him, but without Giannis, they would be nowhere near as good as them, and we would not consider them finals contenders. At least I don't think that in my heart. But now my thing I'm getting to now, the thing y'all been waiting for, who should win the MVP in my opinion? Now, although y'all, like, yes, they're all having great years, obviously, that's why they're in the MVP candidate, I think James Harden should win it, as if you just look at it, without James Harden, this team would be in the bottom of the standings. I mean, Chris Paul is not good enough to carry his team to the playoffs. Clint Capella's been out pretty much the entire season. They've been struck with injuries, and he's still kept them in the top 5 in a very, very strong Western Conference by himself, having one of the best years ever in the history of the NBA. The dude's been playing out of his mind. Giannis has a lot of help. In the Eastern Conference is weaker than the Western Conference, and I do think that out of all the teams I've mentioned, the Milwaukee Bucks have the most help around Giannis, so I think Giannis doesn't have to do as much. Now, obviously, without him, they would be nowhere as good. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think, just due to all the help, I don't think Giannis' season is as impressive. And then Paul George, I mean, he has Russell Westbrook, Steven Adams, Dennis Smith-Schroeder, who's probably going to be a 6th man of the year. Russell Westbrook, I'm pretty sure he's also currently averaging a triple-double and is still that superstar level point guard. And I mean, I just think Paul George, don't get me wrong, most improved player of the year, having an unbelievable year. The dude's an absolute beast. And if he does this next year, he will probably be the one to win the MVP. But I think currently, as it stands right now, you have to give it to James Harden. There's no way you can't. I mean, the dude is on a 30-plus point streak. But he's not only stat chasing, like, it's not like these stats are empty. His team is winning games at a high rate. So it's not like he's just stat chasing for the MVP. No, he's actually resulting in wins, and I think you have to give him tons of credit for that. And yes, Giannis' team, they are 27-3 in the last 30 games that Giannis has played in. But I mean, I really just think that is a big part, because you have Eric Bledsoe, borderline All-Star, Chris Middleton, an All-Star, Malcolm Brogdon, probably a future All-Star, Brook Lopez is an extremely good veteran center to have on your team. Their bench is pretty deep, and then, I mean, obviously Giannis is a beast. So yeah, but I think you have to give it to James Harden. But I'll hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you think should win the MVP? Who do you think deserves the MVP the most? Do you think it's one of these 3 guys, or do you think there will be a dark horse coming through later in the league? Later in this year, I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you feel like video point, like button, and subscribe button. I have to give all glory to God. He's the reason I'm here. He's blessed me and put me in this position to make these videos almost every single day for you guys. And I cannot thank him, give enough praise, thank him enough for the people he surrounded me. He kept my family, friends, and myself in great health, and I hope you all have the same great health as well. I just kind of thank God for all the windows and doors he has opened for me, and I'm just going to keep living my life doing this great thing for the videos. I love doing that, and I love making videos. Guys, like I said, if you like video point, like, make a subscribe button. I hope you have a blessed day. Have a blessed day. So you need to have a blessed day. See you in the next video. Goodbye.